If you've been watching this channel for a long time, I've alluded to this topic before, but I've never actually made a video on it. On July 22nd, 2012, just like a normal day, except on this day, I heard this strange sound like locusts. Well, it was the middle of the summer, so I thought locusts out in the backyard, or just hear this high-pitched ringing. So I walk in the kitchen, I said to my wife, I said, "You hear that sound?" She goes, "What sound?" I said, "That ringing sound. It's incredibly loud. You don't hear that?" She said, "I don't hear anything." "What do you mean you don't hear anything?" She said, "I don't hear anything." So I plugged my ears and I realized the sound was coming from inside my head. And it was unbearably loud, like 100 dB of 10K. I actually got out the app on my phone. I have a sound generator app, and I measured it. And it was actually an oscillating tone that sounded like this. And it was 9.4 to 9.6. It was kind of 9.6 in this year, 9.4 in this year. And I didn't know what it was, but I thought, is this tinnitus? Well, actually, the term is really tinnitus, but some people call it tinnitus, some people call it tinnitus. Well, I was doing a session at the time, and my assistant Ken I came in. We had just tracked drums with a band. I don't even remember who the band was. I said to him, "I developed this ear ringing overnight." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I just this unbearably loud 10K. I can't hear anything. I just tried to listen to some of the session that we did yesterday. I can't hear the cymbals. All I hear is I have to go to an ENT or something today." He said, "Okay, do whatever you have to do." So I called my friend Greg, who's a doctor. I said, "Greg, do you have any friends that are ENTs?" He said, "Yeah, one of my really good friends is an ENT." So I go to this doctor and checks my ears, and he's playing. I have the headphones on. He's, "Do you hear this tone? Do you hear this tone?" And some of the tones, the high tones, I couldn't hear because it was just ringing. And he did some other tests and found out I had a clogged eustachian tube. So he gave me something to clear that up. He said it could be a few things. Brain tumor, it could be an infection of your auditory nerve. So he gave me prednisone, which is a steroid, which makes you incredibly wired. So here I am, wired. I'm sitting in the back of the control room with a clogged eustachian tube. I hear just the bass coming, muted bass, and ringing. And I'm relying on Ken to basically work on this project, produce this project. And I start disappearing, going on all these doctor's visits. And I'd come back a few hours later. I had the MRI, which turned out negative. I'm on the prednisone and I'm going crazy because I can't sleep. And finally, I get off the prednisone. And about 3 weeks later, I have my first good night's sleep. And the next day I woke up and the sound was gone. Completely gone, dead silent. Unbelievable, I'm cured. I called my doctor. He says, "That's weird. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anyone's tinnitus going away." I said, "Yeah, it's silent." I remember going to a friend's house with the kids, went swimming, and I said to my wife, "Oh my God, I would have gone crazy. I couldn't even imagine having that sound in my head." Next morning, go to bed, I wake up, 100 dB of 10K again. I was like, "Oh my God, it's back." I call my doctor. I say, "It's back." He said, "That's really weird." Go to bed the next night, wake up, dead silent, gone again. I was like, what is going on? I'm on the internet every night searching this, and all I found was dreaded stories about this, about musicians with tinnitus. And then I started asking my friends. I asked one of my really good friends who's an engineer. He says, "Oh my God, I've had it for 20 years. Yeah, you just learn to deal with it, but you never really learn to deal with it. And he said to me, "What I wouldn't give for one day of silence. I can't believe you've had silence." This has been going on intermittently for 10 years. Usually about 2 days a week I have silence. The other 5 days I have ringing, but it varies. If I start the day with no ringing and I take a nap, the ringing comes back. And it's there until the next day, when I wake up, and it may be there or may not be there. But something weird happened last week. I had 5 days in a row of absolute silence. In fact, I have absolute silence right now. And I had it yesterday and the day before, so 3 days this week. When I say absolute silence, right now, when I plug my ears, dead quiet. No ringing at all. On the days that I have no ringing, I listen to music as much as I can. And I take care of my ears. I've always taken care of my ears. I've never been one to blast things. I wore earplugs at band practice. I'm the only person in my family out of 7 that has it. My brother John plays in a band. He plays all the time. He doesn't have it. It's not like it's a hereditary thing in my family, but so many musicians I know have it. So many of my really good friends, especially if they're over 40 years old, they all have it to varying degrees. And they've learned to cope with it. Mixing engineers that are afraid to let people know that they have it. We all talk amongst ourselves about it, but nobody really wants to go and say that they have this thing, the musician's demon. I used to look every day for new treatments that would come out. Is there anything on the horizon? They have all these kind of bogus things that are out there that say that they work. I've tried a bunch of them. You're taking these vitamins and everything. Nothing really works. I finally gave up on that, looking for cures or to see if there's any trials. And if there are any with anyone, any doctor wants to reach out to me, I'd be happy to be part of any kind of trial. The fact that I've actually been able to have relief from this has given me the perspective that few people that I know that have it have, which is having it really bad and then having those silent days. When it's bad for me now, I don't notice it as much. There's just the ringing and then you just habituate to it. But when it's gone, those 5 days last week were amazing. Today is great. I really feel for people that go through this and that have gone through this for years and years and years. Pretty much everybody that I've interviewed has it. I asked them, and they all say to me that they dream of days of silence because you can never get away from it. I'm hoping, and I think that someday there will be a cure. I've read that 50 million Americans alone have it. And I think about it, I went to this concert last week and I brought my earplugs for me and my wife and we put them in, and you got the earplugs in, but my ears were ringing so badly that day. Oh my God, it was really not enjoyable, right? Because you've got the ringing here with the earplugs jammed in, so you're not damaging your hearing more, and that's all you're hearing. And then after about halfway through the show, I was like, okay, we need to go. And we left. That's why I don't go out to a lot of concerts. I thought it was important to talk about this. Please leave your comments in the comments section. Let me know your experiences. If there's any doctors out there that have some trials going on that sound promising, let me know. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I kind of gave up my last few videos talking about subscribing once I hit 3 million, but subscribe. If you guys haven't upgraded to my new Beato book, those of you who bought it in the past, I still have my upgrade going on. Thanks so much for watching.